Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're breaking down the June 2026 housing market for Rutherford County, Tennessee. That's Murfreesboro, Smyrna, Laverne, and the surrounding communities. If you're thinking about buying, selling, or just wanting to understand what's happening in one of Middle Tennessee's fastest moving counties, stick around. I'm going to walk you through the numbers, explain what they actually mean, and give you a clear read on whether this is a buyer's or seller's market. Let's get into it with the big picture, supply and demand. Let's start with overall activity. In June, Rutherford County saw 786 new listings hit the market. Of those and the listings already active, 496 homes went under contract and 472 homes closed. So what does that tell us? Demand is steady. Nearly 2/3 of the new inventory that came on the market this month found a buyer quickly enough to go under contract in the same period. That's a healthy sign, and it means buyers are still actively shopping and making offers, not just sitting on the sidelines. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Total inventory for the month, meaning every home either actively listed or under contract, sat at 2,044 homes. Break that down and you've got 1,304 active listings on average and 740 homes under contract at any given time. That's a meaningful chunk of the market tied up in pending deals, which tells you contracts are moving through the pipeline at a steady clip, not stalling out. So in this buyer's market, or is this a seller's market? This next number is the one I'd pay closest attention to if I were you, months of supply. In June, Rutherford County sat at 3.42 months of supply. So here's how to think about that. As a general rule of thumb in real estate, under 3 months of supply usually favors sellers. 3 to 6 months is considered a balanced market. Above 6 months starts to tilt in favor of buyers. At 3.42 months, Rutherford County is sitting right at the edge, technically inside a balanced market territory, but just barely leaning towards sellers. In plain English, there are still more buyers relative to available homes that you'd see in a truly buyer-friendly market, but it's not a frantic bidding war environment we saw a few years ago. It's a market with real negotiating room on both sides, but sellers still have a slight edge if their home is priced right. I know you're interested in this question. What are you actually selling for in Rutherford County? Let's talk about dollars. The average sale price for closed homes in June was $507,470, and the median sale price, meaning the true midpoint, where half of the homes sold for more or half the homes sold for less, was $450,000. Why does the gap between average and median matter? Well, it shows that the market has some higher end sales which pull the average up. If you're budgeting for a typical home in Rutherford County, the median of $450,000 is going to be your more realistic benchmark. On the flip side, the average list price for active listings was $609,149, noticeably higher than what homes are actually closing for. And that gap is normal. It reflects a mix of higher priced homes still sitting active on the market and some optimistic initial pricing that may need adjusting before those homes go under contract, if you know what I mean. Now that we know the average pricing of homes in our area, let's look at the time it takes to sell a home. If you're planning your home move, timing matters. Here's what the data shows for a typical transaction in Rutherford County this past June. Homes spend an average of 31 days on the market before going under contract. That's the blue line. From the list date to the accepted contract, it took an average of 48 days, the green line. Once under contract, it took another 43 days to actually close, and it added all up, and the full list to close timeline averaged 88 days, or right around 3 months, start to finish, your red line. So if you're a seller, don't expect an offer within the first week. Plan for roughly a month or two for active marketing. And if you're a buyer, Once you're under contract, budget about 6 weeks for the closing process, which aligns closely with a standard mortgage timeline. Allow me to summarize what this means for you. If you're a buyer, you're not walking into a bidding war frenzy. There's inventory to choose from. Homes are taking a reasonable amount of time to sell, and you're likely to have some room to negotiate, especially on homes priced above that $450,000 median. If you're a seller, the market still favors you slightly, but pricing matters more than it did a few years ago. With inventory at 2,044 homes and buyers being more selective, homes priced close to market value near that median are moving. Overpriced listings are the ones that are sitting. Rutherford County remains one of the steadier, more balanced pockets of the greater Nashville metro area. That's the June 2026 snapshot for Rutherford County, Tennessee. If you found this helpful, make sure to subscribe so you can catch next month's report, and drop a comment if you want me to break down a specific neighborhood or price range in more detail. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.